It's Sawwhale DSM, and today we are blueprinting the G54B. And what we have pulled up right here are the last 10 pages of the factory service manual, and we're going to be referencing that a lot. I want to do this in a sort of Jack-O-Mobile style of a blueprint video. If you haven't watched his on the 4G63, I suggest you go do that right away. Lots of knowledge in there. Lots of information, and they're just a really good watch whenever you guys have a chance. So to start off, we're going to be checking the deck surface, and how you do that is very simple. You get a straight edge with some feeler gauges, and you prod underneath in this pattern right there. And the limit is a 0.05 millimeters, or since we're in the US, it's going to be 0.020 inches. And that's very easy to see on that. And I have just very standard sizes picked so I can easily prod underneath of the straight edge right here and get the right measurement. So first of all, we're going to be taking these dowel pins out, and then we're going to be cleaning the deck surface, wiping it down so there's none of this graphite from the head gasket underneath to interfere with the feeler gauge going in between the straight edge. So let's get to that. Results everywhere except for two places I got the standard value of 0.02, so I'm happy with that. Right here, which is right in this area, it got up to 0.03, but that's not too bad. I don't think so anyways. It's a reusable block. It wasn't 0.003 because that's a big difference. Yeah, it's 0.03. Okay. I don't know what I was going on about. But, so this block is good. It's reusable on the head anyways. And now we are going to the cylinder bores. And you need to do this accurately, you need a dial bore gauge, which I am still waiting on. So I'm going to pick this up whenever this comes in. But just give you a little information on how to do it. You get the closest to on the dial bore gauge. It'll come with these little anvils that you stick and you prod, and you move it towards you until it bottoms out against the back side of the wall. And then you take your what anvil you have. Say if you have a 2-inch anvil, and then you put your 0.00 or whatever on that came from the dial. Really simple, really easy. I am feeling a few places these might be egged. On this one right here, you can see the little line right there. I might need to get these honed. I hope I don't. I know this doesn't need to be machined. A composite gasket will make up that space right here and right here. So I'm not worried about that. But everywhere else, I don't know. We'll see. So I'll get back to you guys when that dial bore gauge gets in. Alright, and now we're gonna blueprint the crankshaft. So the crankshaft, how you do this, so you have your mains and you have your rods. And how you check this for being into spec is you get vernier micrometers. They measure into the 10,000s. You could do it with standard that measure into the thousands, but these give you a much more exact measurement and let you check for taper and out of roundness according to the factory service manual. So the standard value for the mains is 2.36 inches. That's what they give you. But then they give you your out of roundness, which is 0.006 inches. So 6/10,000ths of an inch. So you can't really, I mean, you can with standard because you can go by the, what's it called? On the barrel, you could check if it's in line or out of line with this, and you can kind of gauge it from that, but it's much easier with vernier micrometers because that gives you that 10,000ths mark. And then your taper, so if it's worn to one end or not, that is 2/10,000ths of an inch, so 0.002. I mean 0.0002. So how you blueprint this is you take two measurements on two different axes. You should do 3 axes, which I might actually end up doing, but from what I've seen, 2 will suffice. So you would take one from here, like that, and then one from there. And then you do it on each side of the oil hole to check for taper. Because obviously you can't put your, I don't even know what to call that, really. Your anvil. You can't put your anvil into the oil hole, or else you'll get a very, very wrong measurement. So you do on each end of the oil hole, on the x-axis and the y-axis. And that will give you your measurements, and you write it out AB for each one. And then you can deduce from there your out of roundness and your taper. And then the rod bearings, which are 1, 2, 3, and 4, that is 2.09 inches. And it's the same taper and out of roundness as this for the main. So 6/10,000ths for the out of roundness and 2/10,000ths for out of taper. And again, take it from 3 different axes. I just do the X and Y because I feel like that will give you enough information right there. I might be wrong, but we're gonna go with this. So, without further ado, I'm gonna show you how to do this. So first of all, you're gonna wanna gauge your micrometer. Now, I've already done this, but really simple. So they send you these micrometers with machinist blocks, and these are very, very tight tolerance to what they deem to be 2 inches. This is a perfect 2 inches, or it should be. So this right here, what the fuck am I saying? So you take your micrometer and your machinist block and you'd ratchet them together, and then you can get your measurement. Now everything should line up on the 0. If it doesn't, write down how different it is, and then from your final measurement, subtract that or add it depending on where the machinist block lies on the barrel to your final measurement, and that will give you your measurement. Same with calipers, where you line up to that and then take your measurement, subtract or add how far off it is, and there you go. But since these are new, brand new, never been used, this is the first time using them, they all lined up pretty much on the right side of things. So now that we have that information, we're going to be using a 2 to 3 inch micrometer because this obviously is more than 2 inches, so we can't use the 1 to 2 inch micrometer or the 0 to 1 inch micrometer. Those are for much tighter tolerances, but these are actually pretty big journals for a 4-cylinder, so we use the 2 to 3 inch micrometer. So how you do this is we're going to be taking our YA measurement, so on the left side of the oil gallery hole, you do this and you find the tightest area you can. We'll first unlock it. So you do that. And now whenever you you spin it till you ratchet. Just like this. but you still want to be able to bring it up over the edge. If you can't, then you ratcheted too hard and you're not in the right place. But if you ratchet, and see it still snags right there, give it a little bit out. And then there you go. That's your measurement right there that you're gonna take. So go ahead and take it out, lock it, and then we're gonna read it. So obviously it's 2 inches, and I like to write it down on here. This is my math sheet. So where it lies on this is 3 point, oh, and these measure in a 25 thousandths of an inch. So 2.3, and then that is on the, oh, I think I measured wrong, hold on. I was in the oil hole. Of course I was, just measured it again. So it is 2.3, and that's lying beyond the 5th point, so it'd be 0.3500, and then it goes 1, and then the 12 lines up with the barrel. So be that, and then we're gonna get our vernier mark, which lines up with the 0. So it is 2.3620. 2.3620 for our A measurement. And that was on the y-axis. 3620. So now we're gonna do every other measurement. So I'll get back to you when that's all done. So here we are on this. We got all the mains measured, and they came out very good. Exactly what I wanted. On number 1, we have, I sort of messed up the measurements down there. I was in the oil hole. Of course I was. Why wouldn't I be? So 2.3618, 2.3617, 2.3617, 2.3618. But actually those were switched because I measured them from the wrong side of the oil hole. So they're actually the same. So that's a good, it's in taper, it's in the standard value for taper and roundness. For number 2, 2.3619, I know that looks like a 4, but I promise you that's a 9. 2.3617, 2.3619, 2.3617. So this one is the most tapered out. It is at the very end of the value, but it's still in value, so it's still good. Number 3, 2.3617, 2.3619, and then 2.3618 and 2.3618. So this one's a little bit out of round, not much at all. It's still good, serviceable. Not serviceable, it's good to run, but I need to do the rods. I'm pretty sure this crank's gonna need a micro polish regardless of anything on here, but the values should stay within itself. So number 4, 2.3618, 2.3618, 2.3616, and 2.3617. Still within the out of roundness and taper limit. Number 5, 2.3619, 2.3619, 2.3617, and 2.3619. So this crank is good so far on the mains. The mains are in spec. They are good. Now we gotta do the rods, but I'm a little bit nervous about the rods because they seem to be the most trashed out of them all. So let's get to that and see what we come up with. Okay, so we got the rod journals blueprinted out, and I'm not happy. So let's look at all this taper and out of roundness. Number 1, 2.0860, 2.0866, 2.0861, 2.0854, 2.0867, 2.0851. See, I took the 3 axis measurements because I wanted to check exactly how out of roundness it is, and it's bad. So number 1's it's already been ground down 1/1000th of an inch because the standard value is 2.09. So I'm gonna have to get 10 thousandths over bearings. So that's already a punch in the face because I was being hopeful with the main specking out like that. I was happy about that. So let's look at number 2, 2.0867, 2.0854, 2.0852, 2.0856, 2.0855, and 2.0867. Bad. Bad journal. Very bad journal. Number 3, 2.0861, 2.0865, 2.0845, 2.0867, 2.0857, and 2.0866. This one was the worst, and I checked it 3 different times. I did each measurement 3 times, so that is a total of 18 measurements, just to make sure that what I was seeing was correct. And yes, it all came back to that. And I recalibrated my micrometer before I did all this, and it spec'd out 2 inches flat. So that one is terrible. Number 4 is the best out of all of them, and surprisingly, if you remember, number 4 was the one with the really, really, really bad bearings. So obviously, I don't know, I can't deduce anything from that. Actually, I'm not a machinist. I'm just measuring shit. But let's look at it. Number 4, 2.0868, 2.0869, 2.0866, 2.0863, 2.0869, and 2.0869. So we just went over taper on the x-axis by a 10,000th of an inch, but everywhere else specs out. I'm still gonna have it reground. I'm hoping a micro polish will do it. There's still enough meat on that 8,000th of an inch that I won't have to oversize it again. So I'm happy about that. So I'm hoping a polish can get rid of all that, smooth it back down, and hopefully we'll just shove a 10,000th overbore bearing in there. Then we'll check the oil clearances and hopefully it will all be okay. I'm thinking very hopeful right now. So we're going to be doing the cylinder bores next. So let me get my tripod set up and let's take those measurements with the dial bore gauge. Okay, so I have the dial bore gauge set up, and these are really easy to use. As you see, we have it zeroed out, and then whenever we push on the little button on the back edge, let me see if I can do this with one hand. It'd be easier to show you in the bore, but see, it moves around. These are really easy to read. As you can see, that little dial to the left shows hundredths of an inch, and then these indicate thousandths So this anvil, this is a 3.6-inch anvil, because the blueprint, or the standard value for the cylinder bore for a G54B is 3.587. So since we have a 3.6-inch anvil, that'll show you. And so to find out the measurement for this, you take your anvil size, which would be 3.600, and you'd subtract the number you'd get from that. So you take 3.600 minus, say, 0.245, and subtract that, boom, you get your measurement. So how we're going to blueprint this is we're going to take multiple measurements across the bore of the cylinder. And as you can see here, I have my top measurement, bottom measurement. That means, and left to right equals top to bottom. So this would mean the top of the cylinder bore. And as we go down, it's going to go further down the cylinder bore. That's why it has the arrows. Try not to make this confusing. So left to right is top to bottom. So on this one it'd be top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom. Then I have it on each of the cylinders. So you can do this better by just marking depths, but I like a visual of what I'm doing. And the taper and out of roundness for these is 8/10,000ths of an inch. And you can see the discrepancy on the dial bore gauge within that. So let's get to it. Or actually, hold on, I'm going to show you how you get your measurement on this. So let's come over here to the engine. And you're going to want to lower your anvil in there. And then, it'll focus. Do you see how you do that? And then it's kind of like finding top dead center. You go to the maximum. And then right there seems to be the maximum. So that is 0.501. And then you'd subtract that from your 3.600. And that's how you get that measurement. And then you do that and you take multiple measurements as you go down. So you take like the center, which is the same. And then, oop, don't slip out of the bottom like I just did. And then it's the same over here too. So this axis is not tapered, which is good. So I'm gonna do the math now, write down, get back to you whenever it's all done.
Eagle on the beat.
Okay, so we finally have every single one of our measurements, all 48 of them right here. And they actually spec'd out. So number one, I think the most was 5/10,000ths of an inch, which was taper and out of roundness, so that's good. But they all spec'd out within the 3.58. And number three is the worst. It was right on the edge of the service limit, which is 8/10,000ths, and right here, 8/10,000ths. So number three is the worst, but it will still do good. And once we get it honed, it should, because it needs a honing, a little bit scraped up. But I think we'll get away with the standard value rings. I don't know, I still have to measure all that. But that's about all I can do now. Were the cylinder bores, the crankshaft, the head surface. But now we're going to have to do the oil clearances. And to do the oil clearances, we need bearings. And we're going to do that with plastic gauge. And then we're going to measure the... Oh, we could do rods. Actually, I could do rods, but I think I'm going to end the video here because it's getting kind of long. And I've been at this for a while. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for even more blueprinting and some work on the Talon. And you guys have a good night.